everyone, I am teacher Joanne and I will be teaching you how to maintain measuring instruments in computer system servicing. Are you ready to learn this new and exciting skill? Are you still familiar with multimeter? Multimeter, also known as VOM or the volt ohm millimeter, is an electronic measuring instrument that can measure voltage, current, and resistance. It is just one of the common measuring tools that we use in computer system servicing. Maintaining measuring instruments are important in ensuring accurate measurement, long-time usage, and minimized expenses. Some maintenance procedures for measuring instruments include the proper use of instruments, proper cleaning, and proper storage. This lesson will guide you on how to handle your measuring instruments properly through various steps and recommendations. You will also learn some tips and properly care for your measuring instruments to keep them in good condition for a long period of time. So, if you're ready, let's start with our discussion. Proper handling of measuring instruments. The most powerful measuring instruments used nowadays are multimeters, oscilloscope, and LCR or inductance, capacitance, and resistance meters. Multimeters assess the three basic electrical characteristics, which are the voltage, current, and resistance, and are used primarily for batteries and power supplies. Oscilloscopes detect changing voltage signals continuously and are then converted into waves that can be analyzed to extract information on properties such as frequency, amplitude, time interval, and more. Different circuit types can require more sophisticated instruments. The inductance, capacitance, and power of electronic components are calculated by LCR meters. Listed below are the other types of measuring instruments: logic analyzers, power supplies, spectrum analyzers, vector network analyzers, digital multimeters, handheld multimeters, frequency counters, data loggers, handheld thermal imagers, RF components, signal generators, power analyzer, battery tester, and current sensors. Measuring instruments should always be in good shape to keep the results accurate. Every measuring tool and device has its own guidelines for proper maintenance and handling, as mentioned in its user manual. To have an accurate result, the information and measuring equipment instructions should be followed all the times. The following steps are the basic safe handling methods for measuring instruments. First, before and after measuring equipment has been used, it is necessary to clean it in a proper way. Next, electronic testing material must replace batteries if needed for accurate output. Third, regularly calibrate the testing device to update and align with international standards. Next, to observe a better visual control, it is necessary to provide a designated area for all measuring equipment. Fifth, instructions and guidelines are important to follow to avoid mistakes in using equipment. Sixth, every measuring device has its own way of checking. Provide check sheets with instructions on inspecting equipment. Next, use only the right measuring equipment based on its manufacturing instruction. Eighth, to avoid problems using the wrong device, segregate and dispose defective measuring instruments. Next, if a problem occurs on measuring equipment, contact the manufacturer or repair center to report the situation and fix the instrument. Next one, implement 5S in the working area. Lastly, check the condition of measuring equipment in order to have reliable and accurate results to avoid further problems as well as accidents. Properly care for measuring instruments. The best measuring instruments in the world are all but useless unless they can bring or produce a precise, reliable result. One key to ensure measuring devices such as micrometers, calipers, and dial gauges retain a high degree of reliability and accuracy is through careful care according to manufacturer's instruction. Number 1. Lubricate instruments appropriately to prevent corrosion. Corrosion and oxidation will damage measuring instrument if not properly lubricated. The right method should be lightly oiled after use and removes the excess oil on metal surface with a clean, dry cloth. 2. Store instruments in an appropriate environment. Be sure that the location is well secured from damaging conditions if you place an instrument in its storage position. Do not store precision instruments in a drawer where they can jostle each other. Instead, use dividers to isolate instruments from each other or position them in padded cases. Prevent stacking instruments on top of each other except in situations where they are all well secured. If your work is in an environment where vibration is a problem, keep the measuring instruments stored as far from vibration and movement as possible in an area. Such forces will gradually cause your instruments to drop out of alignment or over time. If the storage location is subject to moisture, be sure to use moisture removal methods which can help to reduce moisture. Packages of silica gel stored in drawers or holding an air-conditioned storage space may also significantly reduce ambient moisture. When air conditioning is not feasible, consider investing in a dehumidifier that can dry up the air to acceptable levels. 3. Know how to properly handle instrument during use. Protect the measuring instrument from harm or applying it by using false information and instruction. Proper knowledge and manufacturer's information will prevent damage or miscalibration during use, including sudden shock or rough treatment. Avoid dropping or throwing these instruments against hard surfaces. Measuring instruments needs rubber mat when it is placed on a workbench. This will help your instrument to avoid being dropped. Never use these tools to pry or hammer another object. Keep instrument away from high temperature. When in use, avoid permitting it to either heat up or cool down because it can cause expansion and contraction that can affect the calibration of the instrument. How was it? Were you able to learn a lot from today's discussion? You can measure and strengthen more what you have learned by answering the provided activities in your module. This ends our lesson. See you next time. Have a great day.